Hare Krishna. So, today we continue our seminar on 8 treasures that Lord Chaitanya collected from different sampradayas. So far, we have covered the half of the treasures. First, we discussed the treasures from Brahma-Madhva sampradaya, and there are 2. The first one is complete defeat of Mayavada, and the second one is worship of the deities, especially Lord Krishna. From second sampradaya, Shri Ramanuja sampradaya, Lord Chaitanya accepted pure devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, and the second one we discussed yesterday was what? Vaishnava Seva. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. So today we will discuss what Lord Chaitanya accepted from Rudra-Visnusvami sampradaya. And first treasure that he collected from this sampradaya was complete dependence on the mercy of Krishna. Yes. So this is really important treasure for us also, to be completely dependent on the mercy of Krishna. To be completely dependent on the mercy of Krishna means that we are surrendered. Otherwise, as we already discussed, we'll be afraid. We'll be always afraid. If we are not surrendered to Krishna, if we don't take shelter of Krishna, Sharanagati means, of course, surrender, but has broader meaning than just surrender. Sharanam is what? Sharanam means shelter. Shelter. Like in this verse, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. You should take shelter only of me. Yes. Abandon all types of religion, all types of different duties, and surrender only to me. Take shelter only of me. And thus I will protect you from all kinds of sin. Yes, so Krishna is our protector, but if we accept him as our protector, because Krishna says, Ye tamam prapadam tetam stataiva bhajamyaham. So if we don't take him as our only protector, he will let us take shelter of other things that we consider them to be protective for our existence. Yes, Krishna is very liberal. He allows everything to happen because it's nature of spirit that is free. Yes. People often ask why Krishna allows this or allows that. But this is nature of spirit, to be completely free. So, we are free, actually, to choose whatever we want, to be wherever we want, and to do whatever we want. because it's the nature of spirit to be free. But if we identify with this material world, we are free to identify and to be engrossed in material body and relationships and everything like this. Yes, we are free. This is only illusion that we are in material body and material existence. Of course, we are put in this condition because of our freedom again. Because we did something, and because of our karma, we are put in certain position. But still, we are free to choose our next destination. Yes, we can choose our next body. Yam yam vapismaram bhavan terjanti antikalevaram tam temaveti kaunteya sadatat bhava. Whatever state of consciousness one has at the time of death, he'll achieve this state of consciousness without doubt, this state of being. Yes, so it's really important to understand how to live our freedom. Yes. It's the nature of the spirit to be free. We should always have this in mind. So, whatever we choose, that will happen to us. Yes. If we want to be devotees, we'll be given an opportunity to be a devotee. But if we want to be the enjoyer, we'll get the opportunity to be the enjoyer. But of course, no enjoyer can tolerate another enjoyer too much. So there will be conflict between enjoyers. So, yes, therefore, this complete dependence on the mercy of Krishna is really necessary for our spiritual growth. And there are 6 aspects or 6 items of surrender. And the first item of surrender is anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishati vishvaso goptritvi varnam tata atmanikshepa karpani shatvida sharanagati. Yes, so these are 6 items of surrender. And the first is anukulyasya sankalpa. We have already discussed this anukula, what it means when we discuss definition of pure devotional service. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Yes, so we said that kula is what? Do you remember? Bank, river bank, yes. And so anukulyasya means that we are, yes, on the same bank with Krishna. We are not on the opposite banks with Krishna. So anukulyasya sankalpaham means to accept what is favorable for devotional service. That means whatever is favorable we accept. And this is explained by Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita, what is favorable for devotional service. And in the 3rd verse of Upadeshamrita, he explains Utsaha nishchayatarya tat karma parvartanat sangatyagat sato vriti shadbir bhakti prasidyati. Yes, that these 6 items are very beneficial for devotional service. By these 6 items, devotional service bhakti flourishes. And these are, first is utsaha, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the life of devotional service. If we don't have enthusiasm, we are spiritually dead. We won't do anything without enthusiasm. And it is explained by our acharyas that enthusiasm is based on faith. Yes. And there are two kinds of faith, according to Jiva Goswami. One kind of faith is Shastriya Shraddha, that is transcendental faith, and is faith in Shastra. And the other type of faith is Lokiki Shraddha, what people believe. This is Lokiki Shraddha. And this is of course not transcendental. So this Lokiki Shraddha is wobbling, it's not firm. And Shastriya Shraddha is irrevocable, is very strong and firm. So if we see that someone has not strong faith, and maybe if he lives the path of bhakti, that means that he didn't acquire Shastriya Shraddha. Yes, Shastriya Shraddha. So we should inquire about absolute truth. We shouldn't just accept anything what even devotees are saying. Yes, there can be, we can be misdirected. Or therefore, the Vedas don't support spiritual laziness. Yes, but it is said that yes, jivasya tattva jigyasa, that we live for inquiring about absolute truth. Atato brahma jigyasa in Vedanta Sutra, that we should inquire. Yes, and it's one of the verses of Chatur Shloki of Srimad Bhagavatam. Itavateva jigyasam tattva jigyasunatmana anvaya vyatirekabhyam yat syat sarvatra sarvada. That one should inquire about absolute truth directly and indirectly and at all times. Yes. Sarvatra means everywhere also. Everywhere. Sarvatra sarvada, at all times. Anvaya vyatirekabhyam. So directly and indirectly. Inquire about absolute truth. Yes. So we shouldn't just take anything cheaply or granted, even if devotees are saying something. So we should, therefore, this is famous checkpoint. We have 3 checkpoints. Which 3? Yes, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And of course, Guru and Sadhu are defined by Shastra. The one who follows the Shastra is a Sadhu, and one who teaches Shastra is Guru. And also Lord Chaitanya defined Guru as one who knows Krishna Tattva. Yes. Kipa Vipra, Kipa Nyasi, Shudra Kirenaya. Yet Krishna Tattva Vita, say Guru Khaya. So, one who knows Krishna Tattva is proper Guru. And of course, this is based on Shastra, not just on his realization. It is also, one should also have realized knowledge, not just theoretical knowledge from Shastra, but it should be based on Shastra. Also, rasa is based on tattva. There is no rasa without tattva, without absolute truth. Yes. So, we should know what is proper philosophy and apply it in our life and get realized knowledge. Yes, this is proper tattva jigyasa. And if we take it seriously like that, then we will be enthusiastic. So we shouldn't be spiritually lazy. And we should inquire about absolute truth. Yes, this is the way to be always enthusiastic, which is required for devotional service. Without enthusiasm, we are dead. Yes. Nishchaya, and we should be very convinced. Once we are convinced, nothing can shake us. Yes. In fact, the faith, if we go back to this faith, is the only qualification for bhakti. Yes. For everything we do in this material world, we need faith. Actually, a human being is a being of faith. Everyone's life is based on faith. Even a small child, if you say to him, if you'll be a good boy, you'll get a candy. And he has faith, and he tries really hard to be a good boy. Isn't it? And if you want to go to Stockholm, and we take a bus, and if on the bus it says Stockholm, we have faith that it will go there. Yes. And if instead of Stockholm it goes to, to Copenhagen, we'll be really disturbed. Our faith will be disturbed. Yes. For example, whatever we have learned in school is just based on faith. Who had performed all these scientific experiments to try if the knowledge he received in school is valid or not? No one. But Shri Panchatattva ki jai. But this is scientific process of accepting something. To do scientific experiment and confirm this is true, this is not. But no one can check everything. So our knowledge is based on faith. I remember myself when I was starting to learn English. The thought crossed my mind. What if all these words I'm being taught are just made up? But if I wouldn't have faith, I would never learn. Isn't it? So, faith is needed for everything, even for karma and jnana. Of course, we had to have strong faith to practice these paths. But along with faith, other requirements are necessary. For example, for path of jnana, if you want to start the path of jnana, you have to take sannyas first. Otherwise, it's just a joke to mess with material world and consider yourself a jnani, one who is beyond Maya, or who tries to go beyond Maya. So, sannyas is first thing. But for bhakti, there is no other requirements, just faith. Yes, just faith. The only requirement. Yes. Okay, so, and nishchaya is strong determination. Strong conviction, yes, about the path of devotional service. And dharyat, we should be very patient on the path. So nothing happens overnight. We cannot achieve perfection just like that. Not possible because of our unlimited conditionings and desires. So we have to purify our heart, and we'll be tested many times. So we should have patience. We should be patient. Tat karma pravartanat. And we should perform devotional service, of course, under the guidance of spiritual master. Yes, this is also important. Without proper engagement in devotional activities, nothing can be achieved. Sangha tyagat. This is really important to understand, because in those things that are not favorable is mentioned the jhana sangha. So Rupa Goswami twice emphasizes this point. Sangha tyagat means to abandon association of materialists. And not just materialists, all unauspicious for devotional service, unauspicious association. Because the birds of the same feather flock together. If we associate with certain people, we'll develop the same kind of mentality and desires. Actually, even the psychologists say that if we meet a person on the street for a fraction of a moment, we get some impression, and if we are influenced in some way, even if we meet just for a moment someone. Therefore, I don't know what is the standard here, but if you come from somewhere else, from the outside world, if you want to perform deity worship, you have to take shower first. Yes, to get purified from all these impressions. Yes, why even such brief meeting can influence our consciousness? What do you think?
Why they're so influencing us? Why?
Yes.
Because we are very receptive for any vibrations, any kind of mentality.
Yes, but why? Do you have any ideas why? Yes, please.
I can try, I'm sure. Because in spiritual world, souls, they are between each other, doing service together and communicate, and not by itself. But so when we go out, some also can be
It's
exchange of energies. That's why.
interesting thought, yes. Sorry? Yes. So we are always under the influence of some energy. That's very interesting. There is also one other aspect, because everyone, as we also already explained in our seminar, that we want to be happy. It's as simple as that. We want to be happy. And every person on the street has his own conception of happiness and how to achieve it. And therefore, he has some set of values and ideas and so on. And he emanates this state of consciousness. Yes, such and such a life can make me happy. And such values are conducive for achieving my goal. And because of his conviction that, yes, this kind of living can make me happy, this influences others. Therefore, cultures are formed by people who have the same mentality and worldview. Yes. So it's really important to whom we associate. If we associate with drunkards, we'll definitely start to drink ourselves also. Why would we hang out with drunkards otherwise? And for example, if we associate with alpinists, with climbers, if we won't start climbing ourselves, we would be bored to death by their discussing where they climbed. I climbed this wall and this mountain and this and this. It would be boring for us if we wouldn't know anything of what they discuss. So we would really start to climb ourselves too. So yes, we adopt the consciousness very easily of other people. We are social animals. And therefore we can see in children, they pick up every kind of behavior very quickly. And consciousness and so on. But it's not just materialists that we shouldn't associate with. But Acharya stress very strongly that we shouldn't associate with the opposite sex. Because this engrosses us on bodily platform. It's very pleasurable to associate with the opposite sex. Yes, brings great pleasure. If there is no confrontation, of course. Yes. So, and this rule is not meant just for renunciates, brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, but also for grihasthas. We should associate only with our wife, not with other women. Yes, just like brahmacharis and sannyasis not. This is a very important point that we should remember, because I saw many times, and I believe you have seen too, it's not strange or that even brahmacharis are joking with matajis and speaking freely with them and laughing and so on. But this is detrimental for our spiritual life. Yes. And Devaki Mataji, who speaks about spiritual culture and also about Grihastha ashram, she said that this is some way of stealing woman's energy, female energy, because female energy is the source of inspiration for man. So they are stealing in this way, and then the girl may be thinking, yes, this brahmachari wants to marry me, but he has no idea about this, and she goes, for example, to temple president and expresses this to him, and he speaks with this devotee, and he said, no, I just preached to her. This was just preaching. I wanted to help her to understand what is Krishna consciousness. Yes. So we should avoid association of the opposite sex. Yes. Even if we are grihastas. Of course, if we have some business to perform together, we should do our business, but strictly business. No affectionate relationships. No affectionate relationships. And temple authorities should be very careful not to engage men and women in the same service also, because we have seen many times also this happens, that Prabhus and Matajis are engaged in the same service together. So this should be avoided. And this is Sangha Tyagat. And one extremely important aspect of Sangha Tyaga is association with devotees who are not true devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Dharma Dvajis. Dharma, we know this word. Dvaja means what? It's a flag. So one who waves the flag of Dharma, or devotional service. Yes, that means he wears tilak and kantimala and dhoti, sari, even chants the holy name regularly. But he's not really devoted. He's not really a devotee with his heart. He's a materialist undercover, we can say. I just recently read an article in BBT from Srila Prabhupada before he came to the West. And he said that actually majority, even devotees, if put, as he expressed, in acid test of devotional service, because he was a chemist. And yes, so he used this chemical expression. Majority will turn out to be materialists. So we shouldn't associate with materialistic devotees. This is more detrimental for our Krishna consciousness than association with materialists and opposite sex also. Because of this idea we discussed before, because of their certain values and ideas, and then we will really think, yes, I shouldn't be such a fanatic. Once I was distributing prasad in the temple on a Kadashi day. It was a Sunday feast. And there was a queue of devotees, and I heard some discussion between two devotees, and one said to the other, shall we go have pizza? And the other said, but today is Ekadashi. And the first one said, you shouldn't be such a fanatic. Hare Krishna. Yes. So we should avoid such association. Otherwise, this is more detrimental for our spiritual development than any other type of association. Yes. And satovrite, we should follow the example of great personalities. This anukulyasya sankalpa, we just mentioned the first item of surrender out of 6. And pratikulyasya varjanam, the second item of surrender is to reject whatever is unfavorable for our devotional service. And Rupa Goswami explains this also in Upadeshamrita. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha lolyamcha shadbir bhaktir vinashati. So these 6 items destroy our devotional service. First is atyahara, means eating too much or over collecting things. We'll not go into details, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that this overeating or over collecting doesn't mean just the tongue, because the tongue was mentioned in the first verse of Upadeshamrita as jihva vegam. That also means, and udara vegam means desire for eating too much. But it means also overfeeding our other senses, like eyes with non-devotional things, and ears with non-devotional sounds, and sense of touch, and taste and smell. So we should engage our senses in devotional service and avoid anything that is non-devotional. It means also disturbance in our life. So we should not get distracted or be disturbed by anything that happens in our life. And not over-collect things. We should be very satisfied with whatever we have. Yes. This also principle mentioned in many places, but we don't have time to go deep into this. And then is prayasa, to over-endeavor for material achievements. Yes. Even so much so that it is said that we shouldn't be too enthusiastic even for big projects, even for devotional service. If there is too big project, it will distract our consciousness away from Krishna consciousness. Because it will be too tasking on our brain. Yes. Prajalpa. This is one of most detrimental items that should be rejected. Prajalpa means basically gossip. Gossip, idle talk, and gossip about other people. And it's prajalpa and gossip about other people brings great bliss to our heart. as long as we are conditioned. Therefore, everyone is just gossiping all the time. Once, very long time ago, 30 years or even more, I have read some article before my Krishna consciousness, but still I remember because I was struck. There was some bishop from South America, and he protested that this gossip shouldn't be counted as a sin because it's so common. Everyone is gossiping, so it shouldn't be counted as a sin in Catholic Church. Yes. So we should know that it is detrimental, and we shouldn't gossip. Yes, and this is also instruction of Lord Chaitanya to Raghunath Goswami. Grame katana shunipe granya vartana kohipe. So one should not hear gossip and one should not talk gossip. This is instruction not just for Raghunath Das Goswami, but for every single one of us. Yes. Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha is very interesting thing. So if we stick to some rules for the rules' sake, not even if they're not conducive for devotional service, this is niyamagraha. It should be rejected. So we follow the rules if they're conducive for our Krishna consciousness. Yes. And not just for the rules' sake. And on the other hand, we shouldn't be whimsical in following or not following rules. So we should understand why a certain rule is there and follow it accordingly. Yeah, this is a very important aspect also. This niyamagraha is also omnipresent, we can say, among people in general, not just devotees. But because it's so present, also devotees have this consciousness, conditioned consciousness of niyamagraha. And then is jana sangha, association with worldly people. And we have already discussed this before. So we shouldn't have jana sangha. We shouldn't have association of materialists, materialistic devotees, and of opposite sex. And then is lolyam. This is greed. Is greed. Greed for material things and to be disturbed all the time. Something is wrong. This is wrong and that is wrong. I want this, I want that. Yes, this is lolyam. Therefore, Krishna classifies this to be satisfied as the first item of austerity of the mind. Yes, this is God's commandment: be satisfied. But it's so difficult to be satisfied all the time, isn't it? It's strange. We want to be happy, but without satisfaction, no one can be happy. But it's so difficult to be satisfied. Isn't it strange? So, Krishna's commandment is be satisfied. So if we feel unsatisfied, if we are disturbed, not satisfied, this is against Lord's will. So we should follow this commandment happily, with great satisfaction. Yes, we are already over time, and we discussed just first two items of surrender. We'll just mention, and if something is really important, we'll point it out. Other four. The next one is Rakshishatiti Vishvaso, that we have strong faith that Krishna will always protect me. Yes, and Krishna, he himself promises, Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam vaja ahantvam sarva papabhyo mokshaisha mi ma shucha. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Don't fear if you surrender to me. So we should have strong faith. Yes, Krishna will protect me. Krishna will protect me. And not just my body, but also my devotional service. My bhakti will be protected if I surrender to him. And then is Goptrutve Vranam. That means strong faith that Krishna will maintain me. And Acharyas explained that this firm faith that Krishna will always maintain me, is the central point of surrender. Yes. And Ananyas chintayantu mam yejanach parupasate tesham nityabhyogdanam yogakshima vahamyaham. I will bring whatever they need and protect whatever they have. This is Krishna's promise. There is one very nice example how Krishna completely depends on Lord maintenance, is that devotee is like a cow which is purchased by a new owner. So the cow goes with this new owner without any objection. And her only business is to give milk to her new owner, but she doesn't bother how she'll be maintained. She just performs her duty, but doesn't bother how she'll be maintained. So this should be our mentality. We shouldn't bother how we'll be maintained. We should have this mentality. I have to perform my duties. I have to perform my service for Krishna's pleasure, who is my Lord and Master and my maintainer. There is a psalm in Old Testament by King Solomon, and it is said, "The Lord is my shepherd, and I don't lack anything." The Lord is my shepherd, and I don't lack anything.
Okay, I thought you said like. Okay, I don't lack anything.
I don't lack. I don't lack anything. Yes. I'm not in need of anything or in want of anything. Yes, very nice, isn't it? So this is the consciousness of Goptritve Varanam, to have complete faith that Lord will maintain me. Yes, like a cow. Atmanikshepa, that means that we surrender our heart to Krishna, or complete surrender, like Atmanivedanam. We usually have this expression. We know this expression. Yeah. And Karpanye, utter humility, is the sign of surrender. So if we are not humble, if we expect anything, this is not humbleness. So if we expect respect, that means that we are not humble. And we discussed that this mentality can creep in devotional life. I performed so much service for so many years, so I need to be heard, I need to be respected. But this is not humility, this is not surrender. This is Vanik mentality, as we explained, the merchant mentality. I have performed service, so I expect this in return. Yes. So, in short, this is to be completely dependent on Lord's mercy. Yes, the first treasure that Lord Chaitanya accepted from Rudra-Visnusvami sampradaya. Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments? Yes, please.
First, in the beginning you said we are completely free, so, and but in Bhagavad Gita when it says Prakriti Kriyamani Guna Karmi Sarvasha, we're actually completely controlled by the. So what is our freedom actually?
Yes, this is very. It is said ahankara vimudatma. We are bewildered by our ahankara. That means by our false ego. We identify with something that we are not. So we are trapped. In this condition, actually, no one is really free. Everyone is conditioned. In this world, only sadhaka is free, because he can choose either I'll be a devotee of Krishna or I'll live a normal material life. This is his only freedom, actually. Otherwise, one is completely under the influence of material modes. As explained in this verse you just quoted. Yes. And therefore Krishna comes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyutanama dharmasya tadatmanam srjamaham. Just to teach us this knowledge, how to become free and to exhibit our freedom, and to teach us what is freedom at all. And then, if we free ourselves from this influence of material nature, we are also, we can say, enslaved by love. Yes. We are prisoners of love. Because if you are completely in love with someone, you don't have freedom not to be in love. Isn't it? You don't have freedom to think of anything else if you're completely in love with someone. You just think of this, of beloved, you want it or not. But of course, then the devotee is completely free in his service to the Lord. Yes. So the only really free person is sadhaka, who can choose his bondage, or bondage of love or bondage of raga and dvesha, of these dualities. Hare Krishna. Because Tatashta Shakti means that we are always subordinate to some superior energy. And this subordination means bondage. What else? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
This, what you mentioned about brahmacharis who are trying to flirt with Mataji and to get their cold and mind. So maybe you can tell how to keep a heart cold and mind when it's happening.
Hare Krishna. It's difficult. Nanvagnik pramadanama grita kumbha samahpuman. It is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam that a woman is like fire and the man is like a pot of butter. So, if they are together, the butter will melt. Yes. And the fire will burn more. So, therefore we are warned not to associate with the opposite sex. It's hard to not to be influenced. We should stay away. Of course, this is unfortunate society because parents don't marry their children, and even if there is a will on the side of parents, usually children, they don't want their help many times. So we live in really unfortunate times. So we should be so more careful ourselves. Yes. And so we should avoid unnecessary association for all costs. Yes.
I was thinking about this because we're living together in the temple, man and lady, so there has to be some kind of mature balance in order that it's not completely strange also for people who come here that we are just avoiding each other.
No, we should understand this. This doesn't mean that we avoid each other, and I don't want to look. I put this, how it's called, horse blinders.
Yeah.
Yes, we shouldn't behave like this. This is crazy. This is also immature kind of behavior, and it is a sign of attachment, actually. It's a sign of attachment. So we should act maturely, but not associate unnecessarily. Because very easy we can associate unnecessarily. Yes, this should be avoided. Not that we avoid other women or boys 20 meters away and look in the floor or somewhere else. Yes, this is immaturity. So, but unnecessary association should be avoided. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
You said that the quality from Rudra sampradaya that Lord Chaitanya took, that is exclusive shelter or take shelter of Krishna.
Dependence on Krishna's mercy.
Krishna's mercy. So, as I understand, Srila is worshipping the form of Vishnu. So, is it because Vishnu and Krishna are actually the same person, but and therefore you say that he is complete dependence on Krishna? Or is it that actually Rudra Sampradaya is worshipping Sri Krishna, who is having his full qualities that no one else has? Do you understand?
Yes, if it is meant directly Krishna in Vrindavan or other forms of the Lord. Of course, Krishna can be taken also in this sense because he's the avatari, he's the source of all other avatars of Krishna, of of Vishnu Tattva, of all Vishnu Tattva, we can say. So one should take shelter, or we can say to be completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord in whatever form. Yes, even if we are devotees of some other Vishnu form, we should be dependent on His mercy. Yes. Hare Krishna. So, oh yes, you have a question.
Can I make just not a very philosophical but just completely practical suggestion that if you find that you get too much attention from someone of the opposite sex, maybe talk to your authorities that they can have a word with that boy to behave properly. Because, if you're in the temple, then you're supposed to have somebody there also, so you don't have to do all the fights ourselves.
Yes, yes. But the problem is that maybe the girl is also attracted to this boy. That she's not just molested, or I don't know the word.
Yeah, but still, you can have that reaction, and still on your intelligence, you can feel this is something.
Yes, of course, of course, this is really important. But it's hard to, especially if you start to fall in love. It's hard to include intelligence. Yes. Okay, so we should follow these principles for our spiritual benefit, and be really careful how to surrender to Krishna's mercy. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Please accept my